This is the Supreme Commander MHM-01 or MHM-01 figure by MHZ Toys. This is their version of the Rise of the Beast Studio Series Optimus Prime with all the bells and whistles and all the accessories and all that. This is one of the third-party figures, Transformers figures I've been looking forward to getting this month, and it finally came. I picked up this figure from Hobby Corner. Let's get this bad boy out of packaging. And here is MHZ Toys' version of the Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime. And I mean, come on, man. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Details are great. The paint apps are amazing. The accessories are fantastic. The scale is pretty good. It's a much bigger version of Hasbro Studio Series Optimus Prime. I love everything about this figure. He stands great. He poses great. And you can see from this pose that I have him, he's wielding both weapons. That amazing cannon and that blade. I mean, just this pose alone tells you that this is a much better product than what Hasbro came up with. Unfortunately, my figure did suffer from a quality issue, but it's not about plastic quality. It's not poor plastic quality. It's more of an assembly issue, which we'll get to later in the video. Head to toe, the figure stands at about 20.5 centimeters tall, or about 8 inches tall. For comparisons, here he is with two other Studio Series figures, Voyager class-sized Studio Series figures. This is Hasbro's official version of the buzzworthy Bumblebee Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Voyager class Optimus Prime. This is Aoi Mech's knockoff version of the Studio Series Bumblebee movie Voyager class Optimus Prime. And you can clearly see he's an oversized version of the Studio Series figure, and quite possibly a leader class version. Here we have the Reactivate figures, Deluxe class Bumblebee and Voyager class Optimus Prime. But this one's already a pretty big figure, and you can still see he towers over a Voyager class figure. Here he is with my vintage original 2009 Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe class Bumblebee. We've got the Last Night Studio Series Deluxe class Hot Rod, as well as the Bumblebee Movie Studio Series Deluxe class RC. And as a leader class, I believe he scales much better than a Voyager class Optimus Prime with these Deluxe class figures. Now let's bring everybody in just for a second, and you can clearly see the oversized figure is clearly a leader class figure in scale compared to the other figures. And you can see how much the scale varies with the Deluxe class figures. The Deluxe class are just way too big for, let's say, a Voyager class Optimus Prime, and I think they are in just great scale with a much bigger leader class Optimus Prime. So this is everything that came in the MHZ set. And this is everything that came with the Hasbro release. So I'm sorry, it's so laughable right now because this thing cost me $25. This thing originally retailed for $35. It cost me $40 to get it here in Manila, and now it is going for what, $50, $60 on the secondary market. I mean, we can literally stop this review right now and say that this is the superior figure. You just go ahead and just buy this figure and don't hunt for this figure anymore, because you're literally spending double, triple the amount of money for this figure, but you get twice as much plastic, twice as much accessories and features for a bigger mold with a figure that costs, or a set that costs half as much as the official release. So it's crazy to think that you know, something like this can happen vis-a-vis something like this, which is the official product. And I'm thinking if Hasbro had just, you know, thought about their fans more and just tried to give as much to the fans instead of thinking about how as many profits they could get, they'd actually make more profit by giving more to fans, because fans would just literally buy up their stuff and recommend their stuff instead of them just, you know, trying to squeeze as much money from the fans and giving them as little. But anyway, now if you're wondering what the difference of the mold is, essentially it's the same mold. The few tweaks that MHZ Toys did is they've added a swivel and a panel on the shoulders to allow you to replicate what he looks like with the main line with this panel. But it's a nice touch, but I don't think it was necessary. And I think they did that so they could make a separate piece for this panel. So it's cool, but not entirely necessary. Okay, the other thing they added is this piece on the knee guard. They've added a hinge, swivel hinge for this piece, and then there's another hinge right here for this piece right here. So this thing actually moves, unlike this, the Hasbro version that doesn't move. And as we will see later in the transformation, this panel is actually on a hinge and ball joint, which can fold up this way in transformation, which I will show off later. Now, let's talk about what this figure does better than this and what this figure does better than this. So this figure, in terms of paint apps, superior to this figure because you can see a lot of silver. These thigh pieces are actually made of die-cast metal. Everything else is good, sound, solid quality plastic. Even the color of the plastic is much better on this one. The deeper red, deeper gray. This one is so light, if you didn't know better, if you didn't touch it, you'd think it would be a knockoff. This is the knockoff. There's more paint on the feet. The articulation is essentially the same because it's basically the same mold. Even the transformation would be identical. But yeah, color-wise, plastic quality-wise, paint-wise, this one is better. In terms of accessories, they even gave this figure that pea shooter that came with the original Hasbro version. And they've molded it in a much better colored plastic, gunmetal gray, metallic plastic. This one is just plain flat gray. So they even did that. They gave him the gun that came with the old Bumblebee movie Studio Series Optimus Prime. And I think they sculpted it much better. I mean, if you look at it, the color is I actually like the color better. Gunmetal gray. This one is just a flat glossy black. So even if you add this to here, it still doesn't compare to the amount of accessory he has. Comes with the sword, which is painted much better, done in metallic silver rather than metallic gunmetal gray. The sculpting is near identical, just scaled up, obviously. Comes with a battle axe that comes with a removable peg. It comes with the transwarp key that doesn't split though. It's a shame. It comes with holographic projections of the key and of Earth. It comes with 2 blasters, which are actually the more accurate blasters that will fit on both hands. And they come with clips that you can clip on in alt mode. And here's the quality issue I was talking about earlier in the video. It's not per se quality, but rather an assembly issue. And you can see right there, they've misassembled these panels. These panels are actually removable, and it's supposed to have the left and right version of this one, the left and right version of this one. And instead, I got like 2 left versions of this panel, 1 right, and then just 1 of these. So it sucks, but it's to be expected. MHZ is still in the infancy of their knockoff business, but yeah, it sucks. So I might have to track down another one of this set, the MHZ set, but it's not like it's going to be difficult. It costs $25. I can just pre-order it back on Hobby Corner. He comes with a hitch, which attaches in alt mode, and he comes with a bunch of other smaller bits of plastic. That is a Noah Diaz fully articulated figure. I guess this is like, what, a 1.5 inch, 2 inch figure, which is in proper scale, almost in proper scale. I think it is perfect scale with this figure, and comes with a slew of accessories. He's got knives, blasters, and blast effects, booster effects for this figure. We'll talk about all of those later in detail, but that's what it does better than this figure. Now, what does this figure do better than this figure? Absolutely nothing. Oh, Autobot symbol. Okay, he doesn't have an Autobot logo, which is to be expected. That's probably the only thing it does better than this one. But otherwise, it's 10-0 compared to this one. I'm sorry. Okay, so starting things off, he's got the holographic projections of the Earth. You show off the other Autobots. And then he's also got the transwarp key holographic symbol. So you can go walk around, show off the Autobots. Hey, guys, look what I have. Look what I have. We have to track down the transwarp key on this planet. We are on Earth. So pretty cool. And he comes, like I said, with a pea shooter that just much like what the Hasbro version did. You can plug it in here. It'll work just fine. Tew, tew, tew. And then he's got the transwarp key, which doesn't actually fit anywhere. He can hold it if you want to. Yeah, I have him hold it, but it doesn't fit anywhere. So that's a shame. He comes with the iconic Optimus Prime proton cannon or blaster, which is much better. It doesn't fold or anything like that, and it stores in alt mode with a clip. A very, very detailed, very nice blaster. He comes with swords that plug in either hand or either arm. You can have it with the fist out or without the fist out. It's really a matter of preference. I do like it with the fist out. Made of really tough plastic. You can actually store, if you wanted to, you can store the knives or the swords on the back. That's fine too. Comes with his battle axe, which you can plug in here as well. And the plug is actually removable. The base of the handle comes off, which allows you to remove that plug. And it'll allow you to slide the handle of the battle axe onto his arm. I think the only thing that the Studio Series does better with the axe is that it's got that yellow finish right here at the end of the battle axe, giving you that sort of like an energon feel. But I don't really mind this one just being painted flat metallic silver paint. I think that's fine. So plug that back. And then finally, he's got the blasters, and they actually do fit here on either hand. Let's do this one first, because this is the one that I think looks the best, because it's got the proportion panels. And I mean, come on, look at that. How cool is that? That's how it should have been. I think Hasbro should have given us even just one blaster that you could have attached instead of that pea shooter. And I don't know, maybe they didn't know they could have expanded this way in the final cut of the movie, but nevertheless, I think they should give us another version of the Studio Series if they still want to, that has this blaster, because come on, look at this. And this one looks like the DNA kit. I don't have the DNA design upgrade kit, but it kind of looks like that. So yeah, look at that. Very, very cool. Unfortunately, I don't think you can store this anywhere in a robot mode. Maybe you can. Nope, you can't. The instructions don't tell you to do so. So, yeah, those are the major accessories for Optimus Prime. In terms of articulation, it's still the same. You got a ball jointed neck. Just make sure you keep plugging it in, because as you rotate the head, it tends to pop off. It's got the waist swivel. Shoulders go in and out, forward, backward, 360 to allow the arms free range of motion. You got a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows. You got a hinge for the wrist, go in and out. Because of transformation, you got a swivel wrist. The hips are on that weird hinge joint that I thought was a game changer. Can kick up and down. You go do the splits. It's got a thigh swivel. And you know, I know this is die cast, albeit it's a little lighter type of die cast. You touch this piece on your nose, it should feel cold, and the plastic pieces would feel room temp, or a little bit warmer room temperature. Knees are on hinges, feet are on ankle tilts, and ball joints. So essentially the same articulation as the Hasbro version. Finally, let's talk about the Noah Diaz accessory. Oh wow, it is a pretty cool, very well sculpted figure. It's got tons of articulation. You can see right off the bat, he's got a lot of ball joints, ball jointed shoulder, hinge elbow, ball jointed neck. He even has a ball jointed waist. I mean, come on. Ball jointed hips. He's got hinge knees that bend. You know, when you take it out of the packaging, it doesn't bend as much, but you got to push it and force it back. It'll bend up to 90 degrees. He's got a ball jointed ankle. Lots of articulation, lots of detail, much better than that core class figure that Hasbro put out. He doesn't transform though, but I take articulation over transformation. Now he does come with these really teeny tiny blades that you can clip on. And I know these things, if you're not careful, I think these will be the first ones to break, because the plastic is so thin. It's made of quality, durable plastic, but it's so thin. So you better be careful with these. So you can have these sort of Optimus Prime blades. The other thing he has, he's got these blasters. You can plug them in, plug them on the same spot where you plug the blades on or onto his arms. And he's got these really hard, I don't know if they're brittle, but they're really spiky, really hard, clear plastic, premium grade clear plastic that are just incredible. I mean, I wish they had given more of this plastic into the proper scaled blast effects for the Optimus Prime figure, because it is incredible. Look at that. And the final blast effects are really for his booster rockets on his backpack. And just be careful, because these are very hard rock candy type of plastic that you could eat, poke an eye, or pierce your skin if you're not careful. But yeah, very cool. So transformation, essentially the same as the Hasbro version, but it's not a perfect transformation. When they upscaled this figure, there's some places that will have gaps and tabbing issues and all of that. So let's get right to it, okay? So go ahead and open up these panels right here. You want to fold up this panel. It's a little tricky. You gotta stick your finger right up there. Now make sure like I said earlier, make sure that the head is tabbed in fully. Tab it down so it doesn't go loose when you transform it, and it doesn't like block and have clearance issues. So fold up this panel right here, and then fold down the entire neck assembly. It is going to be very tight the first time you do it, but once you transform it twice, 3 times, it's not going to be as difficult. So fold it down like that. Go ahead and unpeg this panel right here. At this point, you want to go ahead and put the arms out. So they're out of the way. You want to go ahead and rotate this entire midsection. You want to fold out the wheels. And then you want to rotate the entire upper torso assembly. Okay, now you want to prep the arms. Go ahead and unfold these panels right here. Fold up the fists, and then fold and rotate the arms this way. Do the same on the other side. Go ahead and unfold and rotate, and you're ready. Okay. Then you want to rotate this shoulder piece right here. Not this piece, but this piece. So the way you do it so you don't break anything is you fold up that arm. The shoulder piece is going to give you enough leverage so you can rotate this shoulder piece. It's a little tight. It shouldn't be as tight as that, but it is. So just go ahead and rotate the same on the other side. Okay, you want to go ahead and just transform the front part of the truck, the cab assembly, before you do the legs, because it's a little tight when you tab everything in. So go ahead and close up the chest area. Make sure the head is straight on. Okay, and like I said, there's going to be gaps like this one. It's not as perfect as we would have wanted it, but as expected. It is a copy of the mold. So what you want to do is you want to fold these pieces first inward so that they don't hit the shoulder before tabbing the shoulder pieces in. So you tab the shoulders right here, and then these pieces are going to tab, just squeeze into the sides of the cab. Same thing on the other side. You want to go ahead and squeeze these panels first here before tabbing the shoulders here, and just go and squeeze that panel. All right, and then you want to fold these pieces here. Okay, squeeze them in, and then let's do the instructions say to do this piece last, but you're going to need leverage. You're going to need something to push on the back part of the cab, but if you have everything transformed, it's going to be very difficult, so do it this way. The tabs on the fists, they don't really fit as nicely, at least on my copy. It takes time. I had to do it several times before I could do it right. So go ahead and just tab it in. I mean, again, like I said, there's going to be some gaps. It's not going to be perfect. Okay, and then you can start doing the legs. You want to split the legs apart just so they're out of the way. Okay, you want to untab right here. And these panels right here, be very careful, because the ball joints are so tiny, they love to pop off. So, I mean, have to be super careful about it. Just make sure that when you fold things around, that ball joint stays in place, but it will pop off. So make sure it's aligned properly, make sure it's straight, because you don't want to do those adjustments once you have the panel tabbed onto the back of the cab. So do the same on the other side. Make sure you're just rotating it properly. I mean, it does love to pop off. Okay, and then untab the shins, untab, and then you want to go ahead and position them here. They're going to tab onto the smokestacks, but before you do that, you want to go ahead and rotate these pieces right here. They're a little loose, but that's okay. This foot assembly is going to rotate inward. It's going to fold down and tab onto that peg right there, and then that's going to secure that leg. Do the same on the other side. Rotate and tab. Again, it's not a perfect transformation. It's a little tight on the clearances, but it's okay. So go ahead and keep these things here, and then you want to just tab the legs together. Okay, make sure everything's straight. Straighten them out, and then finally you want to just rotate these pieces first so they're out of the way. Go ahead and just squeeze these two panels right here in the back of the cab. Okay. I want to secure the legs by tabbing in these pieces right here, but they're going to come untabbed when you tab in the guns. We'll show that off later. Go ahead and just rotate these final pieces. Fold up the gas tank. Same on the other side. And rotate. Fold this up. Now, it has this piece, the hitch, which actually you can remove this accessory, this aesthetic piece of the hitch. And if I had a Studio Series trailer, might have fit there. I don't know for sure. Somebody let me know in the comments if it does fit there. But that is removable, is an option. And then you just slide these notches right there onto those pegs, and there you go. That is the truck completed in truck mode. It's a lot more solid. You get to see less gaps here and there. I do love it, and it rolls properly. It doesn't scratch or anything like that. There's no clearance issues, or one of the wheels is not elevated or anything like that. So very, very nice. Not the smoothest roll. Plastic tires would have been nice if they were rubber, but you know, it's not a masterpiece. So yeah, very, very cool. And one bit of the transformation I keep forgetting. I always forget to fold down these panels right here. It doesn't really matter. It looks good even if you don't fold it down, but to complete the truck mode, you can fold that down, and that's the official transformation in truck mode. Now let's do some comparisons. Here is the original Hasbro version. This thing is a joke now compared to this one. I mean, look at that in alt mode. I mean, I had high praises for this figure. I know it's really a great attempt at Hasbro to give a good product to fans, but I don't think it was good enough. I mean, look at this. It's just a shame there was no way to attach the hitch in robot mode, but doesn't matter. It looks great in alt mode. And if you want to see how he scales with the sort of standard deluxe class, here he is with lockdown. Here he is with Hot Rod from the last night. And between the two versions, I think the leader class upscaled knockoff version suits this scale better with the, I think it scales better with the deluxe class Studio Series figures. I don't know, let me know, you guys, if you're happy with this kind of scaling. I mean, literally a truck compared to a Lambo, obviously it's not in scale. I mean, Studio Series prides themselves of having figures in scale, well, at least in robot mode, but this one, both in robot mode and in alt mode, they scale almost perfectly, I think. And yeah, definitely I'm liking the scale on this one. And so some final thoughts on this MHZ Toys MHM-01 Rise of the Beast Studio Series knockoff of Optimus Prime, or oversized knockoff of Optimus Prime. Well, I think this is an easy recommendation. Unless you are absolutely 100% satisfied with that Studio Series official Optimus Prime release for Rise of the Fallen, which I doubt, then if you're happy with that figure, then I don't think you need this figure. But that figure good as an attempt as it is to give us a good pseudo series Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime, is still lacking on a lot of fronts. This figure, I believe, does everything better than that figure. The scale is better, the color is better, plastic quality is better, the paint apps are better. Some of the details and the adjustments they made with the mold, I think, much better. It comes with a ton of accessories that you need to really make this one a definitive Optimus Prime. He's got Noah Diaz, he's got all the huge cannons, even has the original Bumblebee movie blaster. It's got the original pea shooter. It's got 2 swords, a battle axe. I mean, what more can you want? And the best part is, it is half the price of what the official Optimus Prime is going for. I mean, if you haven't gotten your hands on the buzzworthy Bumblebee pseudo series Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime figure, and you're thinking of whether you're gonna pay scalpers for it, I mean, don't bother. Just track this figure down. There's a lot of online sellers selling this figure. You pay 25 bucks to, I think the most is like what, 28, 27 bucks, whereas the official figure is gonna, you know, set you back at least 45, 50 bucks if you're lucky. This figure is going to get, because of the quality issues and the assembly issues and some of the clearance issues and tabbing issues that I encountered with this figure, I don't think I can give it a 10 out of 10, but had I not received those issues, I would probably give it a 10 out of 10. But because of those issues, it's going to get a strong 9.5 out of 10. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this MHZ Toys MHM-01 Optimus Prime. Their knockoff, oversized version knockoff of the Rise of the Beasts Studio Series Voyager class Optimus Prime. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.